Hey everybody, this is the Crazy Kirby Kid, and I have some videos here I wanted to share with you. Now these are videos that I have been keeping on my computer for about 7 years, and it starts all the way back in 2002 with the final tournament match of the Akon tournament. And as you can see, there are way too many characters in this match and way too many items. But this tournament actually happened about 6 months after Melee was released, and we didn't really have a community at that point, so we took whatever we could get. But shortly after that tournament, we had different Smash Fests, and I want you to take a look at how these players play. The link in black is my brother, and the link in green is a player that used to go by the name Kenshin. Now, as you can see, they're not very good at the game at this point because the game is very early. But you can see that they roll around a lot and they use a lot of projectiles, almost as if they're playing a Mario game. Nobody knows how to play Smash exactly, so we're just doing the best that we can. And because Smash Brothers is so much like a Mario platforming game, you'll see, for these two players at least, there's a lot of jumping, rolling, and smashing. Rolling, 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 grab a bomb, throw it, throw a bomb. A little bit of L canceling, but not too much. You don't quite know what to do with it. Projectiles, using your strongest attacks over and over and over, regardless of how risky they are. So about 6 months after that, we have Most Won, and this is a tournament that was thrown by the D Crew. And we even got people like Rob Falco up from San Antonio to participate. As you can see, we're a little bit more confident in how the game is played, but you'll also notice that there's still too much rolling and not enough tilt attacks. So at this early stage of the metagame, we don't know enough about how the other character can get out of situations, and we definitely don't know how to pressure situations enough in order to develop any kind of expected gameplay. Oh, and as you can see, there's still items. We played with items in our tournaments up until Most 2. And a back throw killed Rob Falco, and now the damage is reset to 0. So what little tricks you could get at this point went a long way, because really nobody knew anything about anything. So when players like Rob Falco came up from San Antonio, and we got other players like Reciferous from California, we had no idea what to expect out of each other's playstyles because there were no YouTube, there was no video sharing, we had no idea. Jump a year and a half later, and this is a tournament called Gay Bar, and it was held in Houston at a friend's house. And we got a couple of players like Die Superfly here with the Sheik and some other top players from Arizona to visit this tournament. And as you can see, we're a little bit more confident in our playstyles and how we move around. These players are using a lot more dashes and trying to use L canceling to flow into different ground attacks. Like Captain Falcon here will use an L canceled air attack to go into a dash grab. But right here, we're really starting to get the hang of the edge game, forcing our opponents to put themselves in the situations we can still take advantage of. But at still this early point in the metagame, we are just starting to develop our follow-up style. So as you can see, Falco here doesn't want the opponent to get too far away, and he's just learning how to follow up his attacks in order to press his advantage even further. So that means using less smash attacks. You can see an up tilt there. Using a lot more air attacks that can be L canceled. We're getting a lot better at L canceling as a whole. Following things up with grabs. Using platforms to our advantage. These are things we just simply didn't do, or didn't do enough of in the first 2 years of Smash. So everything you're seeing here is pretty cutting edge. Using strategic smash attacks and following things up off the edge, that's all new. And notice how Sheik here is very calm, very few rolls, but dancing in and out of Falco's laser approach. And it gets even better from there. This is Most 3, held in 2005 in Plano. As a player, I think Rob Falco is playing Sheik right now, and we have, I think, Ozo with Samus. And look how much more confident they are on the edge, and look how they know how to press your advantage by keeping certain distances away and walking instead of rolling. This is all the new kind of metagame, very impressive, much more efficient strategies that we were coming up with. Pressuring Sheik off the edge, developing new mix-ups in order to get back. These are things that we just simply didn't think about before, and going that deep off the edge to edge guard. So here's a match between me and that Link player I told you about before named Kenshin. Now, Kenshin and I go way back, and we've been playing Smash since before the first major tournament that I opened this video up with. But as you can see, going as low as possible to get a kill on the stage is something that's the new high level of the metagame that exists here in 2005. And using tilt attacks instead of smashes to strategically position or rearrange your opponent's position, that's something that's also new. So we're cutting out all those bad habits, and we're starting to develop what looks like more and more like the Smash that you know today. Here's a tournament match of me versus another player from San Antonio named Smiles. So notice how I do a lot of L-canceled air attacks into air attacks and repeated air attacks. That's something that not many people were doing at all at this time. Right here, air attack into air attack into air attack. He's expecting me to stay on the ground, so he's trying to spot dodge, but it's just not working because I'm keeping my mobility as high as possible. About a year later, we have this tournament. Drove all the way down to San Antonio for it, but as you can see in this opening, Sheik is using a lot of safe, quick tilt attacks and following those up with really good forward airs in order to play a lot more effectively and safely. And right here on the edge, you'll notice that Sheik is also just trying to play as conservatively as possible, holding on to his advantage. More tilt attacks. So it's almost as if we completely replace smashes with tilts. But then there's always techniques like this that throw people off their game. 2007, we have Evo. Here's a tournament match between me and a Fox player. I don't remember his name. This was I think the semi-finals, and since it was single elimination, it was pretty close to the end of the tournament here. You see a lot of clean approaches here. Here's a match between Dr. Drew the Dragon, the orange Fox, and me playing Fox in a rare tournament match where I ever played anything other than Kirby. So even though my Fox is not very experienced in this match, you can tell that the way we're playing is completely different from even what you saw 6 months before and a year before. We're trying to outdo each other. We're using smashes early by reading the situation and knowing that our opponents can't punish us too badly for it. We're trying to do things as conservatively as possible. Using lots more tilts and L-canceled air attacks. Being able to follow up at high speeds no matter if we get hit or hit the opponent across the stage. Slowly but surely, we added all these elements in that I talk about on my blog post into the metagame, and it took us about 5 years to get to this point. And it's still not as high as it goes. Thank you for watching, everybody. My name is the Crazy Kirby Kid. See you later.